Peace and blessings, brothers and sisters. Alfa Kuabo, aka Show here at Radio Diamond. We finally live. So we got our guests on the line. So everybody ready. Everybody promoting. So we finally live. I want all my guests to pay attention now. Now we totally live. I want you to pay attention. Exactly. Now we totally live. So I want you to do me one favor, brothers and sisters. Yes, we are live now. So all my guests, we got a special, beautiful sister, and then allow me to say queens too, here in our studio to break it down this issue. The sound is
a bit low. Your sound is low.
No problem, sister. I can hear you clearly. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about me. So I want you to pay attention to this topic that we're having today, this conversation, respectful conversation that we're having today. As you can see here in our beautiful screen, we're going to be talking about, do you agree or disagree with interracial marriage? Yes or no? Why? Simple question, brothers. The focal point of today is education. It's us to understand that whatever choices that we have in life, the question is, does he make me feel better? As she make me feel better? As she satisfies me? As she's the helper, the protector, to some extent, the king, the queen in my life? That's the question that we're asking today. Today, brother. That's why, please, if you want to listen to this show, just simple. Go to the Radio Diamond platform. We live right there. www.radiodiamond.com.uk. Or if you want to visualize what we're talking about, you can go to my Facebook page. We totally live right there on my Facebook page. We totally live on the Radio Diamond page. We can audio and visually see each other as I'm seeing right now. That's the beautiful thing of having this technology. Shout out to the King Med. He don't like to expose himself, but I gotta say to him, shout out to him.
I'm sorry, your sound is so far away.
He's making it look. Don't worry about it, sister. Sister, don't worry about it. Just stay there. Stay connect. Don't move. Stay connect. So let me do. I'm doing the introduction. So and then what I need you to do also, make sure you leave your message. The phone is right there in the screen, as you can see. It's +44 77 800 75693. You can leave your message on WhatsApp. You can leave your message on the normal phone. Let's hear your thoughts, brother. Respectfully having this conversation. It's not here to bash on anybody. That's why we said, I can't have this conversation by myself. I need to bring the sisters to analyze this situation. And next week, we're going to be having the kings to analyze this situation. Interracial marriage. Do you agree or disagree, and why? That's why, as you can see in this picture here, let me show you. Let me tell you what it is right now. Let's look at this picture here. You know, brothers and sisters embracing. Look at this sister, Serena Williams, with the partner, that singer as well. I forgot his name. With the wife. Look at the picture. Then look at the Prince Harry right there. Prince Harry with Maggie Merkel right there. She's black. No, don't be out here mixed. No, she's black. So, and then she need, to making that palace looking a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? Give him some flavor, some African flavor. She's supposed to bring some fufu right there. But anyway, next conversation. So as you can see, pictures. I'm just showing you the pictures. Eddie Murphy, Robert De Niro. As you can see this picture here. Look at this beautiful couple from Nigeria. Just so you see for yourself, dude. And then that's what we're trying to do. Look at this beautiful couple from Nigeria right there. And then another one, the king from Nigeria, and the white lady. I don't know where she's from. So
And then another one.
I need you. Oh, I need you. Somebody, I can hear the sound. I need you. Somebody to mute the sound. They have in their device. So that's why we now decide to bring this conversation to the table to really analyze this situation in the racial couple. Because a lot of people they're afraid to talk about, especially right now, this the racial tension. As you can see, the things that happen in America, the racial tension, it's growing. And then it is about time for us to understand each other. So, without further ado, just a quick introduction. I'm starting in Glasgow. I'm going to Glasgow real quick. Quick introduction. Please tell us who you are and what you're doing for the family. Real quick. Quick introduction.
Hello, Ted. Greeting, family. I mean, my name is Mbiku from, I'm in Glasgow. I can hear my voice back, but that's better. Okay. So I'm Mbiku and I'm settled in Glasgow. I'm from Congo and I've been here for about 15 years. And I've gone through my teen years in the UK as well. So what I'm coming to bring will be coming from the love, actually, and then actually bringing facts, because a lot of the time when we talk about interracial relationship, we see the media or we see whatever the media feels like. So, for example, in the 50s, it was so much against it. So right now it's so much pro, so you see it everywhere. So, but then what I want to really bring in is to bring the facts, but also to bring people's experiences as well, because with racism or with a lot of the, especially what the Black nation has gone through, a lot of it is actually personal experiences and a lot of it doesn't get told. Like they will always tell you, you will hear about the story about the guy who won the war, but you will never hear the story about the horse he mounted while he was going through all this. So I think for me, it's really to bring the love, but also to bring the facts, but also to educate our young people, because a lot of the time now it seems like when we talk about interracial relationship, especially, sometimes it feels like we're choosing whether to wear a t-shirt or not, actually. But it's deeper than that, and it's a life choice. And I do think as it comes to marriage, there's a lot of talk about marriage, and young people need to hear, young people need to be aware, and they also need to know what led other people before them to make those choices. So I'm really coming in today to just bring all the love, but also to share with the family, to share with the beautiful queens here as well. And I'm so excited to be here, and I can't wait.
All right, and then we move to the other city. We move to London. So please tell us who you are, beautiful sister, also Katale. But tell us who you are real quick and what you're doing in life or for the family, real quick.
Hi. Just to start, I think your sound is a bit low for me. I can barely hear you. I keep mentioning I'm trying to hear you. Anyway, everyone, brothers and sisters everywhere, I'm Katalaya. I live in UK for north of England. I live in UK for about 26 years. I came really young. I'm glad I had a lot of experience. I did not forget where I come from.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Do you have a headphone with you?
Yeah, I can put you on speakers.
Yeah, bring a headphone with you.
Yeah, I think the headphone would be a lot better.
I can hear you better.
Now you can hear me better, right?
Yes.
Okay, but I need you to put your camera down a little bit because your camera is cutting your head.
Okay.
Okay.
Is it okay now?
Yeah, now it's okay. Please tell us who you are real quick and what you do for the family.
Yes, I live in Durham for about 26 years. I have 3 children and
no, you can still cutting your hair. You cutting your head. So put it a little bit up.
Okay.
No, you just
now.
Okay, perfect. Go ahead.
Is it okay now?
Yeah, now it's okay.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Sorry. I would love to bring a message basic on my experience. It's 2020, and I think as we're moving fast, as the internet and all the connection and the world is moving fast, it's not an era to be we still found issues in a interracial marriage, but I see a lot. We see a lot. I live in Durham, a little town in the north of England, where majority is white. We are only about 8 or 10 African families, but we don't see each other. Everybody's busy, doctors. But I do see a lot. I feel it. My daughter is 7 years old. She's a queen, a princess, a proper black princess. And my partner is white. I still got that when he goes to pick his daughter in school, sometimes the school refuses to give the child, or the teachers who don't know he's the daddy. We go to swimming pool, we go to hotels, we still go there. What that white man is doing with that black child. And the child is happy with her daddy. So I just want to transfer that love, see no color. Love is just wonderful. And there is ratio. People look at you down, but I'm happy. It's up to us, our responsibility to teach, to cultivate, to educate communities and the new generation and the old generation.
Okay.
That's all I have to say.
Okay, you hold right there. You hold right there. Then we also have our beautiful guest in the panel. Please tell us who you are and what you're doing for the family real quick.
Okay. Hi, everyone. First of all, I'd like to say thank you for having me on your show. And I'd like to wish everybody, all our brothers and sisters out there, our black brothers and our black sisters, a happy Juneteenth. Now, my name is Reneval Kisila, and I've been in the UK for like over 15 years. And I'm originally from Congo. I grew up in Ivory Coast, and my husband is from Senegal. So my goal today is to bring awareness on interracial relationships, from the point where you need to have some conscious, some knowledge, and some education as a black woman to know where you came from and where you're going. Because today, knowledge is everything, especially within the racial tension that we're currently living in.
Wow. Brothers and sisters, now I can see the beautiful screen right in front of me too, right? It's right here. So leave your comment, brother. I'll read your comment. And then I'll read your message too. I can see you, brother. Brother Flavio in London is on. Shout out to Brother Flavio in London. We're going to have you definitely soon. Shout out to all my brothers. We were trying to get in touch with one of our beloved British sister to be on the panel, because we also need to have, but obviously she sent a big long message, but we're going to be trying to read the message as well. But the message really is about us understanding each other's journey, just so we can educate one another. So starting with this question, you three, before I bring in the video, we did an introduction. I'm going to play a quick video of introduction just so you understand what we're talking about. Can you, I don't know, Sister Katalaya, can you mute yourself, Sister Katalaya? Can you mute yourself?
Oh.
Can you mute yourself? Okay, good. Can you mute yourself, Sister Bikuri? All right, you can mute yourself as well, right? Can you mute yourself, Sister Miss Med? Can you mute yourself? Okay, good. So let me play this 1 minute video, just so you understand what we're talking about. I've already give an introduction, but now I need you to watch this video, and then we're gonna be fully. It's only 1 minute video. Only 1 minute video. I'm not gonna take much of your time. Then we're gonna be bringing the three queens back again to really fully analyze. But please, brothers and sisters, promote. Let the family know. It's just a respectful conversation, all right? Don't be out here trying to think, oh, Alpha, just because Alpha's black, Alpha's going to take a side. I'm not taking no side. I'm out here to educate. People at times, they're like, Alpha, you too black. I even invite one of the sisters. She said, nah, you too black. You going to ambush me. I said, no, we're not going to ambush you. Just have a nice comment. Anyway, can't talk properly. I'm still recovering. Look at this video. I'll be right back. Check this video.
The way that we're teaching them is black and white. You're both black, white, you're just right. And they like that. They always smile. I do love it.
New numbers from the 2010 census show that the nation's mixed-race population is growing more quickly than demographers expected. Mississippi led the nation in growth of mixed marriages for most of the last decade. It is surprising, considering that just 44 years ago, marriage between blacks and whites was illegal here.
Why can't it get in that one?
Because he wanted regular lemonade. He didn't want raspberry.
Michael and Sonia Peoples live in Hattiesburg, Mississippi with their 2 sons, 5-year-old Gannon and 3-year-old Riley. They met while students at the University of Southern Mississippi and have been married for 4 years.
We just started going out and
Just clicked. I will have to say this about Hattiesburg. It's a lot more diverse and open as far as you being able to be whoever you are, whether it's black, white, gay, it doesn't really matter. You want a straw?
No.
Okay.
I think it might have something to do with it being a college
The
town.
college.
I think younger people are more
Open-minded, for
adjusted
sure.
to seeing mixed families and more open to it.
Yeah.
Hey.
Here we come again.
While the community of Hattiesburg has, for the most part, been accepting of Michael and Sonia's marriage, Michael feels his mother has struggled with it.
You know, it hurts. I don't even want to talk about it.
He says his relationship with his mother has been up and down since he married Sonia. In November, they had a falling out and have not spoken since.
She's scared to cross over that line and say, you know, Mike's married to a black girl, they have 2 kids. Of course, they're mixed.
Yes.
Okay.
I think she's just scared. She's scared to find out what other people think when they might not even think anything of it. So.
Parade begins. Awesome.
Patty and Jeff Norwood also live in Hattiesburg with their 3-year-old Taylor Ray.
My family was a little concerned living in South Mississippi at first, but that's just because of the ignorance that hopefully this will change.
My dad was a little bit more leery than my mom just because of the history of what have happened to black men that like white women or lighter skinned women, you know, and that, you know, there's been a lot of history in Mississippi and other places. But Patty and I had gotten to a point to where it didn't matter whether he was leery or not leery. And when he realized that, then he had no problems.
This is my mom, this is my grandmother, and me.
Patty is Thai and Chinese on her mother's side and Irish on her father's.
I think my parents did a really good job of making me very proud of being Asian and also being white, and them introducing me to the whole culture of both sides of it. You closed your eyes. I think we try to do that with her, that she's very blessed to be able to say that she is part me and part him, and neither one is more important than the other.
I come to pick you up and take you to church. There you go. It's time to go to church.
As you can see, brothers and sisters, Alfa Kuabo here. Give me that camera. You see, that's why we're asking you this question, brother. Do you respectfully agree or disagree? And when you decide to embark on in a relationship, in a racial relationship, what obstacle you faced in your life? Or if you decide to embrace blackness, black on black love, what adversity you encounter in your life? That's why we're going to be bringing this conversation to you, my brothers and sisters, in love, right? And next week, we're going to be having the king as well, asking what they're thinking about this situation. So that's why I'm bringing the sisters again. And now I'm bringing the sisters. Give me this camera. So now I love my show because we got two cameras. So now I'm bringing the sisters again. So they're fully live now. We open up the conversation. Please let the message, let the family know that we live. Today's show is not only about the black family, it's about the, let everybody know. Chinese, blacks, white, let everybody know. Yes, let everybody know about this show today. So So go to Sister Bikuli. Go to Sister Bikuli. So here in this situation, in your thoughts, let's begin to say, I'm asking you this question. Love is blind or not? Do you believe love is blind or not? First of all, that's the question I'm asking you first.
I think it's a very wrong saying, and it's not something that I would say at all, because when you're saying that love is blind, when we meet someone, we are attracted by how they look, what we find attractive in the community. So for some region, they will find a bearded woman attractive, whereas other places will not. Therefore, it's the region where you're growing, the cultural element that you've grown in, what you've seen in the media. So it has kind of like raised you up as a child. So by the time you become an adolescent, like one of the guys mentioned, because they went to college, because he was accustomed to seeing diversity, obviously it wasn't a problem for him. Now, when you go to his mother who raised him to be a good person, if people could say that, but it was difficult for her, not just because she's racist or anything else, but I believe it's more so because it's something that's within the area of how she was raised, how she grew. And for her, it's so interesting, actually, because 40 years ago, seeing a interracial marriage was not okay. And all of a sudden, because America decided that let's play, now it's acceptable, and now it's acceptable everywhere. So I do not believe that we should actually let our children know that love is blind, because love is not blind. Love is something that you come to. It's an emotion that comes within us, and it can overtake us. That is true, but it should not be blind. We should teach our children acceptance, obviously, but we should not teach them to go for the blind feelings, because going for the blind feelings will actually justify pedophile loving a 5-year-old, or it would justify a younger person falling in love with someone who's not necessarily suited for them, or it would enable someone to actually, because love is blind, to be in love, for example, let's say with a criminal, and actually go involved in that because love is blind. So I think saying that love is blind as a justification for having an relationship, I don't think it's the root, because one of the lady in the documentary, she explained how her parents raised her to accept who she was, raised her to accept her dual heritage, and I think that is what led her to where she is today. Not necessarily the saying of love is blind, because the problem is that it's the society that taught us that maybe this person is black, this one is white. So I think the moment the society teaches you that there's two different colorization, that's where the problem started for me. And now that you accept that there's different colorization of people, you no longer see the human, we no longer see who's beyond us. So it's no longer a case of being blind or not. It's a case of we are actually taught to recognize someone as white, recognize someone as black. And there's also been cases where black men go pick up black children and they're told this is not your child. You have to prove that it's your child. Even black women go through this every single time as well, having to prove their children. And also when it comes to not only, and this is a funny thing, not only interracial relationship are frowned upon, but even when you look into international relationship are also sometimes frowned upon. And this is not something that we talk about often enough. And I think this is why, for me, we really need to broaden the view of it to understand why it is. And also, there was one guy, particularly in one of the videos, and I want to highlight what he said. He said that his dad had issues with him being with a white woman because his dad was scared of what may happen to him. Can we think of it for a second? His dad was scared for his life. So his dad was like, did you consider what you're doing? Because a few years ago, people who took the decision that you did could have been killed. So think about it. So we're no longer seeing the blindness of love, because many people who went with the love is blind ended up dead. And I think we need to actually highlight all these issues. We need to highlight all the issue of what happened to people that went with the blindness of love. And also, no longer go, if we go to South Africa, we'll see the same thing. Trevor Noah talks about how he couldn't really have a family life because of that. He couldn't have a family life because of the legal requirement of the country. And then if you go back to America as well, and in Africa, in Congo, everywhere you go, during colonization, during slavery, it wasn't allowed to have interracial relationships, meaning that the mothers or the fathers were sometimes killed, and even the children were killed as well. So for me, it's a case of we need to acknowledge the history and acknowledge the hurt as well, because when the biracial children are born, they do come with a mixed identity, and coming into the mixed identity, there's also the past of children who were incarnated just like them, who didn't see life, who were tortured, who were killed just because of what they represent. So they need to be aware of this as well. And the mothers and the fathers need to be aware of what happened in the past, because those children who are coming, necessarily, think about it, if you can only have a mixed person because of a interracial relationship. Now imagine if those children were killed generation after generation. That's why you wouldn't see a list of biracial children actually coming, like all the communities, simply because they have been tortured, they have been killed. So I think for me, it's like when we talk about this issue, we need to go back to the root. So I would call to go back into the 16th century, the 17th century, and actually look at this. So when I talk to younger women, I tell them the whole history, and I tell them to make a choice according to what has happened in the context, because whether we like it or not, that history is in our blood.
Wow. You stay there, brothers and sisters. Great point that you mentioned. I'm going to go to Queen Med, because I still can't remember your name properly. Queen Med. So, do you agree love is blind or not? Because at times, brothers and sisters, either white or black, they say, Alpha, I'm with my man because I love him. But the question is, okay, is it just about love, or is a choice as well? Because you got to look at the whole context of life. You can't just tell him, I'm with my husband because I love him. Has to be something that attracts him. All the component has to be together. The cultural component, the feeling, everything has to be together. The spiritual component, everything has to be together. Because love can go away in the split of a second. Has to be more than that. So that's why I'm asking this, Sister Med, I need you to take your phone off. Your camera. Unmute your camera. Sister Med, Queen Med, unmute your camera. Because Queen Med, unmute your camera. Okay,
oh, yeah.
Good.
Okay, ready.
Good. So
right,
the question we're asking you, does love is blind, in your opinion, or not?
Okay, this is a very it's a very broad topic, and we have to try to make it very concise and precise in our response, because it covers a whole lot of points. So I'm in agreement with Sister Mbiku. Love is not blind. We have to be very realistic with ourselves and very honest, because just when the first point where we meet our partner, our husbands and our wives, we are very visual creatures. Men more so than women, but that's another topic for another day. We see the person first. We will be physically attracted to the person, or we will be attracted to some traits of their personality. And from that point on, we cultivate feelings towards that person. So it just doesn't come on straight away. It's things that we have to build on. Maybe you like the way he treats you. You like the way he talks to you. You like, you share the same values and principles. You share the same hardships. All these things, all these components constitute what is love. As far as interracial relationship, it's not for me. It might be for a lot of people, but personally, I am pro-Black. And when I say pro-Black, I'm pro-Black all the way. By pro-Black, I mean, it's not just a word, or just because it's a trend right now, everybody is jumping on, yeah, Black Lives Matter, and everybody all of a sudden wants to do their own beat, and you wear a t-shirt and it means you're pro-Black. No, it's more than that. It has to be reflected in the way you live, in the way you conduct yourself with your fellow brothers and sisters who are Black, who are African, who are from the Afro-Caribbean, who are Jamaican. You know, it's a reflection on you. Just like when they colonized us and they lied to us, Jesus came and if they slap you on one cheek, you need to give the other cheek. No, that's not true. That's as well another topic for another day. But my pro-Blackness just means to encourage the economic growth and the development of Black people. to increase wealth for Black people, for African people. In any way that you can. It doesn't have to be economic, but you can share your knowledge. You can decide to educate your children about Black history.
But hold on a second. Imagine if you decide to go with the white husband, would you be doing the same, or can you not do the same, promoting black growth, Black economy? Can you not do the same?
In my opinion, you can't, because it's a way of life, and you need to reflect that life. It's almost as saying that if you're a priest, but a long time ago, priests couldn't marry. But I think right now, some of them are allowed to marry. So it's like when you're a pastor, you have to reflect. You're not just a pastor on a Sunday, one day in a week, and then once you leave the church, you can do what you want. You have to reflect it in your life every single day. And if you're pro-Black, it means you have to perpetuate the values, the history, the knowledge that you have as a Black person to your children. And how are you going to explain to your child? If you have a mixed race child, how do you explain to your child your struggle and your history when they don't look like you for a start? Where do you start? Because there are mixed race children that don't look nothing like their parent.
Okay. I kind of just, because I believe in blackness. As long as you can have a mixed race children, this so-called mixed race, you can't be one or two. As long as, if the Black gene is stronger, he's become an African person with a lighter skin. That's what we stand.
This is another problem for Black people. You don't just claim everybody who's Black.
Okay. We get into that in a second. So go with Sister Katalaya. First of all, do you believe love is blind or not? Sister Katalaya.
To my microphone.
Okay.
Hi.
Now I want you to stay with your mic. Don't worry. Stay with your mic. Otherwise you're going to make mistake. Bring your mic. Yeah. Mic.
Can you hear me?
Mic. I need your mic. Sister, mic.
Okay, can you hear me?
No, I need your mic. Tell the sisters I need your mic. Okay, I need all your mics.
Okay, all right. Gotcha.
Okay, don't worry. I need your mic, because otherwise, if I ask you a question, you might gonna forget about it, and then your mic. So I just need your mic. Don't stay with your mic on.
We're all ready.
Okay, stay with your mic on. Sister Katalaya, first of all, do you agree? Do you agree or disagree? Love is blind or not?
I do disagree. Definitely, love is not blind, unless you're forcing yourself as an individual to that relationship for whatever reason. Love is clear as a crystal, and there is no way it can be blind. So we must acknowledge that love stands as a test of time, and also the most equation in the universe is love. Love equal math, equal light on a speed. Love is the most powerful force in the whole universe. With love, you neutralize evil, darkness. Showing love, you can actually rescue somebody who is about to jump off the bridge, or somebody in a dark place, just by showing love. I believe so much, because I'm sorry to put myself, I am an example. I said I'm a life testimony. I live the situation, I live the experience. I had a 17 years of relationship with a Black brother in result of my 21 years old, 18 years old. And I shut the doors for happiness, because I just want to focus in the brothers. I want to marry a brother. Then I had a second marriage, which didn't last. I have a pretty princess, Rochelle. And then one day I kneel down and I pray to God, crying tears. What's wrong with me? I used to blame myself. Why with the brothers doesn't work? Is it my fault? Then I say, oh, well, I pray to God. I say, God, show me happiness, because I tried the brothers and I'm not having the appreciation. I'm not having the love. So suddenly I end up myself dating white brothers. I didn't choose. And when I start, suddenly I pray to God, and this wonderful person came to my life. I don't care about color blue. And I'm happy. My sons, they look at me and said to their cousins, I never see my mom so happy in life. It's not perfect. There is a conflict of cultural differences of culture. I'm learning the English culture. He's learning the African way. And we try, because there is a chemistry which is love. Because a person who is against interracial families, this person go hate is in their heart. They are insecure and they are ignorant. Because we must realize honesty. Honesty is true, is everything. Light up life. What destroys people is negativity constantly, criticism. I just believe in love. I don't care if it's blue, purple. I just thank God we humans are not able to multiply with animals. God did a good thing because love is love. People fell in love with dogs. People fell in love with monkeys. If the animals could talk, they would talk with their owners, but they cannot. So love is not blind.
Let me just interject you right there real quick. So you said people married. So do you feel right?
Yeah.
Somebody, a human being, married with dogs, with
No.
horse. Do you feel okay? So explain to us properly, so we get your point.
No, I just say love is love. Even a human being, some people go dogs when they die. They cry in the barriers. My sisters-in-law, they love their dogs. Is they don't fall in love with the dog. It's just like I say, love is powerful, and doesn't matter if you blue or purple. You're free. Your heart is guiding you. You feel love. Why not be happy? This life is too short. I just say I thank God we are not able to interact with animals, because there is people who wish instead of having kids, they would have animals as their children. There is people like that.
Wow. Oh, you just stay right there. That's a great start. Brothers and sisters, I can see people sending comments. Please send your message, my brothers and sisters. We're having this respectful conversation with our beautiful sisters, having this to analyze the situation interracial marriage. I'm talking about marriage, cohabiting with black or white. So that's what I'm talking about. And also that's why we decided to bring the sisters as well, that cohabit with the black brothers and sisters, because at time we have to be honest with you, as the black brothers and black brothers, we've been failing. Not all of us, obviously, but some of us, we've been failing to give him that protection, that love per se. That's why some of our sisters, they married outside of our culture. And that's why we have to understand what's the journey that gets us to marriage outside of our culture. The same way we got British women married with the African man. So that's why we have to analyze why. So go to Sister Bikuti. You said about history, and then I'm going to ask this question to Sister Katalea as well. Sister Katalea, take your mic. Yeah, stay with your mic on. Don't worry about it. You stay with your mic on. Mic on. Don't switch off the mic anymore. Stay with your mic on.
Okay.
Sister Bikuti, what about culturally? So you took you took the path to marry African king. So in terms of culture, do you emerge the culture of your king? Even though I know he's from Zulu tribe, you from Congo. So in terms of culture, because at times we think just when we marry outside of our culture, we don't have a cultural clash. Even amongst ourselves as African, we have cultural clash because we got Nigerian, they have different culture. We have. What about the cultural standpoint? Do you merge? Merge into his culture? Explain to us about the culture.
I think before I even answer your question, I would like to go into the comments because our brothers, our kings, even though they're not here, they are representing in the comments. So I'll go to Abu Jata, one of Jatata, which I think his comment was so powerful because he said, "What is love? Whose definition of love African is following? Love for Roman culture was Roman adults having sex with Roman boys. So that was the definition of love in Rome." And then this is where the definition of love comes from, first of all. And then if love is blind and God is love, we as African are in serious trouble, honestly. And then love ain't a feeling, but a state of consciousness. What should not be mistaken with passion. So just to get to that point, because it is very important for many of us to actually understand that once you marry, once you're with your husband, when you're in a house, each of us have culture. And I think even if you're within the same country or the same culture, you may still have issues because everybody in the household grow differently, do things differently. And what you need to do is a mating process where you have to find the right balance for both of you. And I think it's very important because what Sister Kataleya talked about, she talked about a journey of growth where she found herself with men who did not value her. She started valuing herself. Now she found the men that value herself. So regardless of whether the man was white or black, it's just simply because she started valuing herself. She asked herself the question, where is the problem? Does it begin with me? I need to change the problem. So it happened that the brother that she found eventually was white, but it's mainly because she, I believe, went into a journey of discovery and started questioning herself about the choices that she was making. So I think even in my case, in terms of with my king, with my husband, we've had to lay different foundations in our family. We had to understand, we go through our history, we go through the wounds of our history, because as I said, all that history is in our blood. Whether we choose to look at it, whether we don't look at it, all these problems are there. Simply, like, Sister Kataleya said again, her son is telling her, you look happy, the happiest you've ever been, is telling his cousins, because the kid can see what's happening. Similarly as us, we might not know what happened to our ancestors, but understanding our history is fundamental because it is within our blood. And the culture is important, and we do have to learn from each other's culture. Early on today, as I was preparing for this show, actually, I came across a picture, and in this picture, there was a black African brother and another black African queen. But then the black African queen was albinos. And I tell you, Brother Kuabo, that was my very first time, having grown in the continent for 14 years at least, right? It was my first time to actually see a happy couple where the man was black and the woman was albinos. I had never seen something like this before. But I have seen pictures of interracial couples. I have seen different combination left, right, and center. But the combination within our home, I've not seen it so often. Again, if I go again talking to the queen, married with a Senegalese man or married with a Ghanaian man, so you don't necessarily hear about interracial, or I can say intercultural relationship within the continent. So my question is, if within the continent we're not yet at the point where we can talk about intercultural relationship, how did we come to talk about interracial? Because that's now coming even out of this. So we've come so fast, because 40 years ago all these were not allowed. So all of a sudden we've moved from one area to the next. Now, the thing is, what is very important is, as I say this, and I really want to underline this, and I think it's very important, is that often with interracial relationships, it was the white part that used to burn, torture, and lynch the black person in the relationship, right? The black side, rarely, if I can say if never, but rarely, as opposed to maybe doing a retaliation, the black side never actually went to the extent of torturing, the white person within a relationship. Wow. So that is a very, very important point to mention. Now, the problem is when we go back to history, which is very important, and Brother Kuabo, I sent you a video again talking about the invention of white. When there was no white people, when there was no black people, interracial relationship happened throughout the history of the world. And it was never an issue. Do you know why it was never an issue? Because we seen each other as human beings, right? And then there was slavery, where people were forced to do things. Similarly, as your cat and your dogs, whether you don't know it, all people, everybody that has animals in their house, even if those animals love you, they're in a state of slavery. They are in a state of slavery. They've been in slavery for a very long time. You have to look at how the lynching manual, when Willie Lynch was talking, he was talking about the black race, but he was talking about horses as well. So your horse, your dogs, your cat, I don't know, any animal, your fish that you have in your house, they're all in a state of slavery. Therefore, they can't love you with a pure love because they love you as their slave master.
Absolutely.
So it's something very important to note.
Absolutely.
So then it's very hard to now say that, yes, you can have love for your dog, but the true love for him is to help him find his way, find his path, find his, I can say, his godly state as a dog.
Absolutely,
right?
absolutely.
Because if as a dog, if God is a human being, then that dog is enslaved, just like the black race. Our God was a white man.
Absolutely.
Therefore, the black race was enslaved mentally. Now, when you go to America, and what you realize I think there was no mention of the word white until the 1680 something, right? What happened before that? Before that, when the settlers arrived in America, so it was mainly men that was going to the colony. So then there was a lot of interracial mating naturally because people were attracted and they had a family. No one cared. No one saw color. And then there was a segregation where they started giving privilege to the white male especially. And to the extent where even the white woman as well started losing her privilege. Now the white male was given all these privileges. So for anyone to become an American citizen, you had to be married to a white male.
Okay,
only
great.
A white man gives citizenship.
You hold your point right there. I'm definitely going to bring you back in that point over there. So moving to sister in Manchester. Obviously, culturally, you decide to marry a man that is not from your country. So, because at times we think just the cultural clash is happening between white and blacks, but realistically, even amongst ourselves as African, the cultural clash is also there, because culture play a big role to have a level of understanding of each one. Because once I fully respect and understand your culture, I can be able to be more sympathized with your pain. So explain to us about the culture. Do you think the culture has a massive role to play on interracial marriage or in any marriage? Sister from Manchester.
I do believe that culture is very important, and when two people come together, you decide to marry, you're not just marrying the individual, you're marrying their family, you're marrying everything about them. So every relationship is difficult. It's never easy, but there are certain barriers. If you can avoid in a relationship, it makes it easier. That some people decide to get married to people that they do share the same culture with. It's a choice, but at the same time, you have to consider the love that you have for that person. I picked my husband because there are several components that came into play for me to decide this is the right man for me to settle down with and to have children with. I hear it all the time. You Congolese, how can you marry Senegalese? How can Senegalese marry a woman from Congo? It's a bit like, wow, we never heard this before. How does it? I mean, you hear these ignorant comments all the time. But then when you with your other half, you do have to set things in place so that you're able to blend your two cultures together. Because just like I like my own culture, he has his own culture. But the things that works, I think, for most Africans is like, most Africans, I'm not saying every African, we do share the same values and principles, regardless of the religion, regardless of which country we come from. We have some basic values that constitute our foundation that allow us to come together. To respond to I like to say something regarding Sister Catalaya's response. When women like me decide to be pro-black, it's not because we have hate for ourselves or because we have hate for interracial relationship. It doesn't work for me, but it could also work for everybody else. It's It's a free world. We can agree to disagree, right? It's not because we are insecure, or it's not because we are ignorant. Far from it. Sometimes it's because we are way too aware, and we have too much knowledge for ourselves to put ourselves in this kind of situation. Because you can marry someone from another race today, black, white, Asian, whichever race, but you accept the person. Then you have to ask yourself, is the family going to accept me? And it becomes one question after the other, one hurdle after another. And most of the time in this interracial relationship, someone has to do the bending. Someone has to be constantly explaining, and most of the time it comes from the black side, because you have to explain your history from the white person to understand. You have to explain your feelings about certain things. You have to explain your culture. So it's a constant state of explanation. Whereas with my husband, who's black love, I don't have to do all these things, because he understands some of the hurdles that we have to face, and we do face them together.
Wow. So, brothers and sisters, you can see we just have. So, the question to Sister Catalaya, how you maneuver, because you're a strong queen. Sister Catalaya, Queen Catalaya, you're a strong queen. How you educate us? Educate educate me, because as I say to you, I don't like to take a side, but today, like I'm just purely hear your thoughts as well, and hear what you're coming from. So educate the world to understand how it's like for you to facing, because at the end understand that your partner fully accept you, accept your culture, fully accept yourself. How's with you regarding your partner fully embrace your culture, your people fully embrace your partner? So explain to us, take us to your journey, or to your state. I don't want you to talk private, like going deeply about your private life. It's really just to educate us as how do you maneuver out of all this situation in terms of culture, in terms of them accepting, in terms of you explaining how you maneuver.
How to manage the culture. This is a working process. It's a working process, because as you grown as couple, as you grown to love each other, we're growing to learn and trying to understand each other in a daily basis. It is a challenge, but it's a working process. It's not easy, but it's not difficult. That's all we have to say. As long as I have him, that's all. The rest will follow. Like what Sister Renoval just said, is you need to ask a question, how to educate the rest of the family. Is the family gonna like you? In my case, I am glad. My king always wanted to be a black man since he was 15 years old, which makes things easy. But as long as you guys go each other, and he loves you, your husband accepts you, the rest of the family will melt. No matter what, we stick together, the rest will follow. The rest, you don't need to panic about other members of the family. What Sister Chikudi says is true. Is normally the white side that always, with a negative thought, always reject. Normally African families embrace straight away. As long as you're happy, mommy and daddy and your family, straight away, they embrace, no issue. But as we say, it's a process. Family will fall in love with you. We don't need to behave the way they do. I'm sorry to say that, since we are on a program for 400 years, we've been treated unhumanly since our ancestors. But with love, doesn't mean we behave like many white people's races. We don't. We show love, and today many white families go one black member, mixed race, or one black adopted children. We are all over. We are everywhere. We are in the royal family. We are there. And we'll never stop there. We will carry on. Whether you like us, we are not looking for acceptance anymore. We're not looking for you to love us. Now the whole world knows we are human beings. And that's all. That's all I have to say.
Wow. Brothers and sisters, bring back my camera. Because at times, if you're looking for people to accept you, that's the mistake as well. Because it's about demanding respect. It's even with our black people, it's demanding respect, because that's my argument. That's why my altercation with Black Lives Matter. We go now, Black Lives Matter, asking somebody to accept now. My life is matter. My mom tell me since I was born, my life is matter. I'm not gonna go and cry to nobody in this planet to accept my life. No. That's why. Look, I've been facing. I had a criticism because I put a T-shirt of Black Lives Matter, and then I understood why people criticized me, and then I took the T-shirt because I just put it to promote Black Lives Matter. But now I got this, as you can see right here. Let me make sure. I'm proudly. Let me make sure I'm proud, because my designers. Shout out to my designers, man. Shout out to my designers, because they made this especially for me. So
that's nice.
As you can see right there. As you see, this is I can breathe for all my ancestors. Nah, because all this I cannot breathe. No, because we are dying when you saying this. Even I gotta be honest with you. Just I gotta be honest with you. I'm not gonna put this mask anymore. I'm out of this goddamn mask, because when you put your mask, you're sending a message. You gotta be quiet. Listen to the government. So if you put this mask, if you travel this public transport, if you go to that place, you gotta put the masks, fine. But I'm not gonna promote it anymore, because come on, if you put this mask all day long, you cannot breathe properly. You even gonna make the situation even worse. So that's why, brothers and sisters, yes, I can breathe for all my ancestors. I can breathe. So anyway, conversation to another day. Go back to our go back to our topic. Yeah. Go back to our conversation. Sister Bikudi, talk. You.
Renova had her hand up for a while.
Okay, you said it real well. What about the society? Do you reckon the society is ready to accept either one, interracial? Because what we see in the media is like now they easily promoting interracial couple, and then at time, I'm going to say at times, or majority of the time, they kindly pounding on the black love. Because at the moment when you start promoting black love, oh, he's a hater, oh, he's hating, he's a racist, is this. So what is your thought about the media itself and then the society? Because let's face the fact, not many people are prepared to accept either interracial couple or black on black love. What would you say about the society? Or what is your view about the society and the media itself of y'all? Because media before, they used to not promote it. Now they fully promote it, interracial couple, marriage. And to some extent, black on black love is down to us promoting. And once you promote it, you kind of face a backlash. What is your view about it, Sister Bikudi?
Absolutely. I will come in quickly because Sister Renevald had a hand up for a very long time. And what I would say is it's true. I mean, like, I have to say it's a media agenda. As in, like, I grew up in the UK. When I was coming in, most of the girls, black or white, wanted to have mixed race babies, right? And that is like biracial babies, right? That's the problem. The thing about it is, like, also in the community, we are always told that biracial are black, right? And I think it's not necessarily true, because we say biracial. So therefore, the person should be able to choose where they want to fit in. So we don't give them the choice. So we land them and say, here you go, this is what you are. And with that one, it's destructive, not only for the black, but for the biracial as well. Because they can come with confusion, because you love your two parents and society is making you choose. And this is the problem for me when it comes to interracial relationship, because the media is showing us a happy picture. But like everybody's saying, all relationship comes with ups and downs. The media doesn't show you those ups and downs. The media is selling you an idea. So when the media is selling you an idea, we need to stop, think, and actually gather with our Black family and tell the people to open their eyes. Tell the young girls to be aware of the racism, to be aware of the situation faced, and to be aware of the choices, to be aware why the Black men are not giving opportunities, why the Black men are all stressed up. Because one of the things that we don't talk often is that when the women came into the UK, because I told with my mom, we would see many of the women were granted asylum, granted right to work. Not only that, when the Black people migrant come to the UK or to many European countries, America, they have to go through a rigorous immigration process. So it lasts between 3 years to 10 years in some cases, right? That means that before you settle, you need to go in, and then you're stressed up. But in the same time, in the media, they're showing you that the easy way to do it is actually by marrying outside of your race and marrying a white person, because it's assumed that they have status. Now, in some cases, I have seen cases where a brother or a sister decided to get married together because they love each other, but it also happens that one has status, the other one doesn't. And guess what happened? You won't get the status as fast as you would have been if one of the two people were white. You have discrimination from the system, discrimination in the media, and discrimination in the schooling system as well. So in those cases, so that these girls wanted this, right? Roundabout in the same moment, I'm talking about 15 years ago in the UK, there was a movement called, the movement was called Our Children Are Not Kosher Meat. Our Children Are Not Called Halal Meat. Many people will not remember, but I remember a time where, so this time, it was white parents that were marching in the streets. They were actually demanding stronger rules to protect their children, because what was happening was at the time, and I'm quoting that movement because I followed it because when I was younger. So the movement was, and I can attest to that because it happened to some of my friends, and it also happened, and I've seen it happening in terms of, I knew some guys who kind of took advantage of that as well, because the saying was that our children are not kosher meat, our children are not halal meat. This was like basically white parents in the UK telling the government to change the laws, because a lot of the Muslim families that came in particularly, and some of them, I'm not saying everyone, the problem that was coming was that within the Muslim community, as we know, there's no sex before marriage, you can be killed if you do. So now for the boys, it was easier for them to go have fun, have white girlfriends. By the time the family came to know it, then the family would force them to still marry within the culture. So then that means that the girls that either had a relationship with these people then realized that actually they couldn't go along. So for the young people, it was a difficult situation, really. And in some cases as well, there was a lot of grooming of young people. Young girls were taken into prostitution and so on and so forth. So then this is the history, and this is the dark history that many people don't talk about. The media doesn't talk about it anymore. No one tells you. So then there's been abuse simply because what was seen was like the white children or the white girls at the time had looser morals from what was said, and therefore they were taken advantage of within those relationships until they realized, and then there was a change. So then there was a call to have imprisonment. So many black guys, many Asian guys were actually forcibly imprisoned because they were seen with white girls. Why? Because of those cause of that movement as well. Now, when you go back to when you go to the black counterpart, we also suffered from interracial. We've also suffered from interracial relationship. I can't say this today, but we've also suffered from that. We suffered from that severely, from the brother who told that his dad was worried because his son could be killed. So we had our queens and kings killed because of that. But equally as well, and this is why for me as a black queen, I have to talk for my ancestors. I have to talk for my ancestors who saw themselves mutilated and their children killed just because of what happened, because at the time the media was saying something different, and now the media is saying this, and the media can always change his mind. Never forget that. Now, what used to happen is if you go to Europe now, you go to Italy, you will see a lot of our sisters who marry into white families. What would happen is the husband would now use the woman as a prisoner, as a sex slave. And now the woman would be a sex slave for him and his friends. And when she would want to talk to the police, she wouldn't get the help. when she would go to her family wouldn't help her either, because the family is blinded by their post-traumatic slavery colonization background. That meant that many of them, when they see the interracial relationship, they were just happy, and they couldn't see the mistake, or they couldn't see the abuse that the sisters were going through as well. So for me, what I say is, often sisters will talk about how Black men mistreated them, how Black men treated them bad, how Black women are horrible. I hear you, but can you really say that after 400 years of history of slavery, of history of lynching, of history of rape, abuse, and killing of your children because it doesn't suit the agenda? So how can we now say 40 years on that now that we're free to choose who we can? Because don't forget, back then as well, Black people couldn't choose to marry between Black. It was the authority that had to choose. And that sister that Renovot said, in her case with a Senegalese man, her family had to also be educated, simply because colonization doesn't even want you to do that. But now all of a sudden, they're pushing you not even to accept. And I'm not even talking about the issue in Congo within the same country, but they're just pushing you toward this agenda. And it's very, very dangerous, because I know many young girls who, because they wanted to have mixed race babies, and I'm going to say the truth, they went into relationship and they ended up with broken hearts. They ended up with like a lot of issues that they were not prepared for, simply because of that. And that goes for anyone, regardless of whether they're Black, white, or any color. And I think for me, the main thing is, when we talk about interracial relationship, we need to address the background of it, and we need to address why is that two Black people will still be discriminated, and for you not to be discriminated, you need to shop with a white person. And I think this is still going to slavery. It's almost like you need to have a hunter next to you, and I think that mindset hasn't left. And I think in the case of our brother George Floyd, and today is Father's Day as well, so I don't want to say Happy Father's Day because I don't believe in that racist institution, but I want to say happy, strong brotherhood, because for all the men who stood for the family, for all the men who were there, despite the fact that they faced discriminations or whatever, I wanna salute you, regardless of who you are, regardless of what you are. Because I do believe in this humanity, we have people who are against human light, and we have people who have dark light in them. So for me, against, we have people who, because as Black people, we are the Black flame, of course, but the Black comes with everything within it. So that I want to say in this is that we need to remember the history, and we need to show that once a person hasn't amended from their hard history, they are likely to repeat it. So if you've not gone to prison for your mistake in the past, you would just do the same thing. So for me, when I see interracial relationship, I am worried for the sister, I am worried for the brother, because I know there's something behind it, and that worries me. And I'm worried for the children too.
Okay, I can see.
Don't understand.
Sister Bikundi.
I know that and I'm gonna pass on the thing.
Yeah. Wow. I'll move on. All I need you is for you to be as short as with your answer, because we three of us here. We need to compare, and then I know we're definitely gonna have to do this show again. But just to compare, because we got look, and now it just went real quick, and then I'm sure you got a lot to say, a lot to teach, based on your own experience. And shout out to the brothers for the comments as well. All your comments is really appreciated, my brothers. Keep sending your comments, keep sending your love. That's what we need. Having this respectful conversation.
Silence is violence.
Exactly. We need to have all this respectful conversation. Moving before I'll go to Sister Catalea. Go real quick to Sister Queen Med.
Brother Kuabo.
Yeah, go ahead.
I like this. You said earlier when you mentioned now we can breathe.
Yes.
I don't think we can breathe yet.
Why?
We are in the process of trying to breathe. Because if we were breathing, all this movement that we're seeing now won't happen. If we were breathing, they won't try to push interracial relationship in our face. If we're breathing, we won't be sitting here fighting for Black rights. No. If we're breathing, we should have the same right as every human on the planet. If we're breathing, we should have the same legislation and same access to wealth as everybody else. But the system Everywhere that you look at in the world, it's set against black people because they don't want us to breathe. They want us to keep us uneducated, unhealthy, and not have access to everything that we deserve and that we need.
Okay,
So
okay.
when you talk about the media,
Just one
the
second.
media-
Just 1 second. I'll get you on the media. 1 second.
Go ahead.
I'll get you on the media. 1 second. Somebody got to breathe to protect y'all. Somebody got to breathe because if we not, imagine, sister, I definitely can breathe because I got to keep fighting. I cannot breathe. I cannot sitting down, going over there begging them, say I can't breathe. I can't breathe. No, look. Let me tell you something. I'm not bragging publicly. I'm saying that's one of the number one reason. Even my own father stopped me, took me away from Portugal, or even from Africa, because I cannot see injustice. I don't care if you're police. I cannot see injustice, and then I'm just going to look and by and standing looking at you. Oh, I can't breathe. No, I will fight you. Period. That's just me. I will fight you. So I need to breathe. Because if I can't breathe, I'll be paralyzed. I'll be paralyzed and looking at you, asking you to breathe. Imagine how weak we are, a man, going over there and asking somebody else, look, I can't breathe, please let me breathe. No, you demand to breathe. It's demanding. You have to demand, look, I'm breathing. You cannot stop me to not breathing. I'm breathing. Because that's why right now, our back is against the wall. So we got to breathe. It ain't no more be-ba-boo now. The question is, are you can breathe or you not? So that's where I'm coming from, sister. I'm not coming from the... I know they got a foot in our neck. The structure, the power structure. I'm not saying all white. The white power structure, because there's some good whites. The white power structure got a foot in our neck. And they even use our presidents as well in Africa. So the question is, we have to demand ourselves. So go ahead, sister. That's just my point. That's why I'm embracing I can breathe. Because somebody got to breathe. Not all of us. But go ahead. Go ahead, Sister Med.
Okay, when it comes to the media, to answer your question.
Yes.
Right. The media is not set for black people. We just have to be honest. Because they push the agenda that they want to push. So as a conscious black person, you have to be able to have a sense of discernment. Whether this information works for the advancement of black people or not. When you look at TV today, just based in the UK, they never show anything positive when it comes to Africa. They always show you, oh, well, Congo is maybe 1,000 women is being raped today in the region of Kuabo. Or they will show you Kenya, people are dying on the street. They will never show you the good side that exists there. Why? Because they have a political and economic agenda behind it. So when you see the media, you don't take everything face value does on the media. The media today is pushing interracial relationship because they're banking on the fact that black people, some of us, we already hate ourselves. We have issues when it comes to colorism. So they want to push that even further. And you have to be able to educate yourself. When you grow up as a black girl and as a dark-skinned black girl, you have so many things set against you. Why? Because they want you to believe that you're dark. Just because of the fact that you're dark, you have to fit a certain stereotype. You will never be successful. You will never be beautiful. You will never be intelligent. You will never be pretty. So you have to fit into that box where you're already a failure. And then your brothers that are supposed to love you, they're supposed to elevate you. They don't treat you the way they're supposed to be treating you. If I want to come back to Sister Catalea's experience prior to meeting a husband now. So I have to say this, I'm sorry, but some of our black brothers, they don't do what they're supposed to be doing. That's why some of our sisters, they go outside of the race. Because you have to own your, if you are black love, you have to love that woman like it's your most precious asset in the whole wide world.
No, don't worry about and then let me tell you, don't worry about it. Pound it on the brother. Don't worry about it. Go hard on them. They're gonna be next week to defend themselves. But you can go hard on them. Don't worry about it. Go hard. Go hard on the brothers. Don't worry about it. I'm here. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. What I'm saying is, you can go hard on the brothers. Let them know what you feel as a black woman. Even Sister Catalina as well. Feel free. I'm giving you free ride. Go hard on the brothers. They need to know the truth, just so they can maybe go hard on myself too. Maybe we be making a mistake. We don't worry about it, but go hard. Let it out. Let it all out, sister. We're here to receive your message. Go ahead.
Because these are black brothers. Sometimes they don't give us the love that we deserve and we need. You sit here all day and you throw names as queens and kings, but that doesn't mean anything if it doesn't reflect in your behavior. I don't like these terms of kings and queens anyway. I'll tell you why. Because for me, a king and a queen is somebody that sits on the throne and sends people all day long to go thief for them. So you're sitting on the throne, but you're letting other people do your work. That's why I don't use these terms. I'm very mindful of the term that I use. Even the term "I can breathe" is a very negative connotation. Why can't you say "I can breathe"?
Now you agree with me, you see?
Yeah, all this is something to say.
Hold on. Now you agree with me. Thank you. You agree with me. I said
the fact that you say "I can breathe," because most people out there, they'll be "I cannot breathe." No, it's a very negative.
No. Look at me. Look at what I'm saying. Look at the t-shirt here. I don't know if you can see here. I can breathe. I can. No, with T at the end. Can. Because we gotta breathe. I understand what you're saying. The world can't. That's negative. I understand what you're saying. Now we're in a same conversation. But go hard on the brothers before I bring Sister Catalina real quick.
Gave us the love that we're seeking and we deserve as black women. They held us to a pedestal. They love us the way that we are, regardless of our shade, our shape, the way our hair looks. Then some of the black women out there won't be seeking for any kind of love from any other races. I give you the example of Serena Williams. Serena Williams has been in very public relationship with black men prior to meeting a white husband, Alexi Ohanian. The reason why she probably married this man is because he showed her the love and he put her on the pedestal that a previous relationship didn't. The other women that she was in a relationship with Common for a very long time, but he never proposed to her. She's a very accomplished black woman, a very strong woman, very athletic, rich, but yet none of these black men stepped up to the plate for her. So, and then she met Alexis Ohanian, and he stepped up to the plate. Now, everybody is bashing her while she's in interracial, but she was available. Nobody wanted her. Those were the same brothers that were criticizing her for the way she looked, calling her a man. She was too muscular. She was too dark. I mean, there's always something to say. The same black brothers today.
Excuse. I have to say that is a very bad.
Yeah, that are complaining about this kind of relationship. You see them out there. They'll be holding the baskets in the supermarkets for the white wives. They'll be canoodling their mixed race children. But when it comes to the black woman that gave birth to them, they don't do that for their fellow black women. They don't have any sense of gallantry. They don't have any sense of respect. They don't canoodle. They don't cherish their own black children out there. But when it comes to another like ambiguous woman, mixed race woman, light skinned woman, white woman, Asian woman, women from another race, they have all the respect in the world. They have everything to say that is good when it comes to this kind of woman. And when it comes to their own, they have all the hate in the world.
Wow, brothers and sisters,
it's just amazing.
Wow, brothers and sisters, as you can see this beautiful show, interactive. Before I bring Sister Catalina, yeah, it's gonna be your turn, Sister Catalina. As you can see, it's
I'll just go one last point.
Quick point. Go ahead. Quick point.
Okay. The media is pushing colorism, mixed race relationship, light skin into black girl shades because it benefits them. They will never push anything that benefits black people. Why? Because as they're pushing this, you have to go out there, you'll be destroying your skin, you have to bleach, or you have to elevate yourself, your economic status by maybe having a white wife or a white girlfriend. This is what the footballers do out here. Those well-paid black footballers or these African American black people that have made it in America, they still feel the need. They have that complex of inferiority, so they feel the need to have a counterpart that is white from another race to still feel socially elevated. And why is that? It's because the brainwash is still running deep. Because they're still not educated, they still don't know where they're coming from, where they're going. Because this runs deep. This runs deep in slavery. This is the origin of interracial relationship. Masters originally, they will consciously rape black women, use them as a band wench, so that they will produce mixed race baby, so they can have the perfect race, the hybrid race. Because they'll see us as strong, they will see us as in good health, they will see us as certain physical attributes that they would like to have. So that's the mixture will happen. And then that happens, get rid of the mother, we keep the child, and we brainwash the child. Because you light skin, that means you're better than your brother Kuabo who's darker. Because you light skin, so you better than your sister Mbiku. And this has been going on for so many years. So as a black woman, if I know this, why would I put myself in this kind of relationship?
Wow. Okay, we got your point. Go to Sister Katalea. The same thing. What is your thoughts about the whole situation? I know you raise your point because we don't want it to jump on, but brothers and sisters, man, it's just we see you need to support this platform. You see, we're having this respectful conversation here, and nobody's agree or disagree, but we're having this respectful conversation. Nobody's bashing on each other, but we have to check each other's out and tell the truth. So, Sister Katalea, go ahead. You wanted to raise a point, but go ahead. We listen to you, Sister Katalea.
Yes. My vision, the whole contest, cover the point of Sister Sister Chikude and Sister Revenal. I will try to cover briefly both points. Some of aspects they mentioned. We know we humans, as humans, we've been built in a complex way. We adjust, but we need to be careful with all these adjustments. Number one, the media. Yes, the media has a massive fault, and we know they are powerful. We know they twist people's brains. We must be strong and effective in our values and beliefs, because we are very strong. What the media do, since they cannot break the black people are really strong. We know that. And what they do, they use the media to bring individuality, and that goes to separation. We are very individual. When it comes to our brothers, definitely, sister, you're right. Sister Revenue, the brothers, they do take your self-esteem. They do discriminate. They don't appreciate what they have. Not all the brothers, some good brothers, but I wasn't so lucky to found the good brothers. There is some good players, good bad brothers who don't appreciate. Even though they go white, they still look elsewhere. They don't appreciate what they have inside. They don't value their queens. Instead, they put you down. They put you down as a woman. It's up to you as a strong black woman to find your strength. And this goes for many white sisters. You need to find your strength to tell yourself in the mirror, you are beautiful, you are queen, and there is somebody up there who deserves your love. If you believe in what is being said, sometimes a word from your partner or husband is enough to destroy you as a woman. They do, brothers, a womanizer. Majority of black brothers, some white brothers too, womanizer is the problem. They are not content with one queen. They want more than one wife. Fine, if you can make legal, let's say our Muslim brothers got no issue. They assume the two wives and they look after accordingly. But some brothers are just totally sorry at this grave. And another, since we talk about interracial couple, I want to send a message to the Asian community. The Asian community needs to graduate. There is some black brothers and sisters married to Asian, which are discriminated. But if the Asian person married to a white person, you who listen to me, who is an Asian brother and sister, shame on your community. You need to graduate. Because when your sons marry a white man, is acceptable. When your sons or daughters marry a black person, is not acceptable. My future daughter-in-law is Asian, beautiful girl. My son is at the uni. He showed me the girlfriend. I hold her. I embrace her. I told her, my daughter, you're beautiful. I never knew my daughter would be so gorgeous. What about your father? I give a briefly interview. Is your father in agreement? Is your mother in agreement? She said, my mom knows everything, but my father, no white, no black. My father expect me to marry an Asian. And I say, darling, do you know this is gonna be an issue? What you gonna do? Are you ready to face your dad? Because you welcome. Mama here is international. We love multicultural culture. You welcome. I'm Mama Africa. So my heart is full of love. So she said, I'm just waiting to graduate and then I'll face my father. So I can already see what's gonna come. I'm feeling for my son. Why? Because she wants to get married in Mumbai. And I'm scared. We may be hijacking Mumbai. The girl is rich. You Asian community, wake up and graduated.
Wow.
And also for our brothers in South Africa, the South Africa called black brothers and sisters who decide to be racist to our own kind of Africans. That's so wrong. You too graduate.
Wow.
They must graduate.
Wow, wow. As you can see, brothers and sisters, at Kuabo aka show here at Radio. We got a couple of more minutes to go. But brothers, next week gonna be you, brothers. So you make sure you bring it. In love. I'm saying to you, in love, when we have this discussion, in love, go to Sister Bikudi. You
Yes.
keep pounding on the media. And then little you know, the media, they've been tricking your mind to put these celebrities as the spoken person of us, represent us.
Mm-hmm.
You see all these celebrities, next thing you know, 10 years ago, when they're nobody, they look so black. Then over the years, you look pictures like this. I'm showing you in your face. Look at it. Look what I'm showing you in your face right now here, as you can see. You see pictures like this. They started off black, embracing black. Then you know they become so light. You be like, what? Light as a paper. But he said they're black. Look at this. Even the hair change. Look at. I don't know if you see me. I don't know if you see on the screen what I'm seeing right now. Do you see what I'm seeing right now?
Am.
Okay.
I am.
You
Yes,
see this sister.
absolutely.
Then you see this sister here. Oh, this sister. Oh, they gave her all the media here in the UK. She's even a what's it called? I think she's married. They say she's a lord or something. They're giving all the media attention to her.
Absolutely.
She's even having his own hairline and everything line. Look at this. And she promoting the latest wig coming up, the Chinese wig, the white wig. We don't bash it. We love it. We love our sister anyway. We're just saying. So, but like I say to you, now the question is to you, sister, after seeing all this. But anyway, they're beautiful sisters. You know, sister. Shout out to sister. What's her name? Nicki Minaj. She's a very talented sister. Beyonce, Rihanna. They're all very talented sisters. And then to some extent, some of them they actually been doing some for the community as well. But the question to you, do you reckon the media's been really, the media, the black media and the white media really giving it the voice to people like yourself, like Queen Catalaya or Queen Mrs. Mad to speak the truth about this situation, so they cannot misleading other sisters? Because sometimes one of the sisters, they possibly even in Africa, they want to marry a white man because what they see in the media. Oh, I want to marry the white man just so I can enlighten my baby. Or I want to marry to the Chinese man because he's got the money. So what is your thought about the situation of media, of the society in general, when it comes to this to the truth about, because you're right, because maybe Sister Catalaya married the white man because she already understands the situation. But some of our sisters, they might not understand it. They just marry because, okay, let me marry the white man. But they don't understand the consequences. Or even the young black man married a white woman without understanding. Now let me study the culture first. Let me study the history. Let me understand the pros and cons before I can fully embrace it. What is your take about it, lovely Sister Bikudi?
It's such a complicated issue, but it's also very, very simple. And I think it's a case of like, we are what we consume in the media. And I'm actually putting some Palo Santo, because I'm like, I just need to be I want to be very pure, very natural. And I don't want to say more than needed, because it's very simple. The issue has become
it's really just be short and straight to the point. Go ahead.
Yes, I'm going to be short and straight to the point this time. So for me, the issue came to the point where when we started talking about the interracial relationship, we had all the celebrities. So we mentioned the celebrities. These celebrities are not, they're formatted, first of all. They're formatted. They're not in charge of their own image. There's someone else in charge of their image, and they're formatted. They change, they're damaged in some cases. And we have a lot of talent. And, I love this channel because, I got to learn about the Oshun twins here, for example. No one is representing them. We're not talking about our queens, our gorgeous queens, the ones actually showing what we are. The Oshun twins, they're talking about the Orishas, they're talking about natural cultures. We're not representing them. I wanted to briefly talk about why our men players. And that's the thing. I am not going to bash African men here, because I'm going to say I have never been in a relationship with an African man that was horrible to me. Never. I've only dated, like you could say, I've only dated queens. I've only dated men who respected themselves. And I'll tell you why. Because that's what I love to see from them, and that's what I receive. Black men became what we call players today because during slavery, they forced them for so long. Willie Lynch again, forcing them to mate with so many women. So they were so used to chasing one woman after another. Once the wife was pregnant, they never let him actually spend the quality time with his family, and they had to push him away. They had to take him away from his family. So as a result, we are facing men who are broken. But again, as I say to you, we still have strong men because they still stayed strong. They still fought against slavery. We have Marcus Garvey. We've got all these amazing men that we can look up to. We have the Malcolm X. We have, all these amazing people that we can look up to who actually stood up for the Black queen, stood up for everybody. And I think that is very important. So for me, what I want to say is we have to understand that within our community, there's a lot of problems coming from the residual colonization, slavery, and we've got all this issue coming from years and years and years. And I think the main thing, and I think the Queen, Renovate, and when you go to Cataleya, what we're highlighting here today is the importance of actually understanding where we're coming from. And for me, I think it's very important not only to take back the power from the media, and with the YouTube, the Facebook, we're trying our best. Even in YouTube, you will see a lot of the celebrities that get endorsement, especially the Black one. They don't get endorsement, but when they do, they're either in interracial relationship, and they get to question themselves, thinking, am I famous because I'm this? Am I famous because of that? So all this is very damaging because they're still working so hard. African or Black footballers will tell you, to be actually what I am, I have to work 5 times harder than the white counterpart. Why is that? We need to talk about privilege. They have the privilege to choose and to tell people, because it's not the Black people who tell us ourselves that we're Black. It's the white race that told us that we're Black. The white race that invented the word, even rights associated with people. And again, they're the ones that use terms of mulatto, mulated, and then they had biracial, and they had all this time like mixed race that were demeaning to people. And now this is something that's very important. So before we go into that, we need to first of all, heal our brothers, heal our family before we can come and actually have unions with others. Because what I see people being used. I see people being used, and I see people going with the media, going with the thing. And I would say ignorant men treating maybe one woman better because she's light skinned or she's white, and treated other women badly. And again, I'll go back to the point where today I was moved by seeing a picture of a beautiful queen that was albinos with a Black man that was Black. And I love the fact that they were happy, they were dressed traditional clothes, and it was really nice. And our brother Alfa, I will ask you if you have that picture to show it to the family, because it's some kind of picture that we don't see often. And it's true. that black comes in all shades and colors, but we don't see our brothers and sisters albinos being represented. So for me, I would fight first of all for for ourselves, for myself, for my people, for the black men, for the black women. I'll fight for us, and I'll fight for all those shades, especially like the albinos who still get mistreated. Why? Because rumors got into Africa and that made them in that situation. So just to be concise, my message comes with love. And I would always say, when children are telling me about interracial relationship, young people, I educate them. I tell them, before you make a choice, be fully educated, because the man can be good to you, but the abuse you're going to get, regardless of whether it is from the man you love or the woman that you love, they will still mess you up and mean that within your generation, that messing up will continue. Discrimination affects you for generation. There was a right experience showing that anything that you leave, you pass it at least to 4 generations. At least 4 generations. So any abuse that you or your husband or your children will go through, that would actually damage the input that they're going to have in the community. So we need to heal ourselves first. We need to heal ourselves and install black love into our children. Because once you love yourself, it's only then that you can now love the other. But I think from now, what we describe a lot of lack of love internally and before going back. And I think even the father is misunderstood because he can't talk to his child. When you're talking about the interrelation with the Asian, he can't talk to his child because everything is coming out. It seems as if he's the one coming with discrimination. But our Asian brothers have suffered too. Our Asian brothers have suffered from colonization as well. So when he's talking about, he knows what he's talking about. He has memories of like people being lynched in Asia as well. But then his child will not be able to understand exactly where is the root. So often when you go to the root of where the pain comes from, people are able to evolve. And what I think what the father is asking, obviously it's easy to say that it's a racist message, and I don't believe so. I think it's really important to go from the root, have a discussion with him, and understand and explain what is going on from the case so that everybody can heal from that. So I think for me, if it's no healing, I don't see the benefit of interracial relationship without any healing in our communities.
Wow. So, Queen Med. Okay, let me bring my camera. Where's my camera here? So the question to you is, right? Let me challenge you on that one here. So Queen Med. Okay. Yes. Oh, you can hear me. So you talking about you don't like this word of kings and queens, but isn't that grateful to having your partner put you in a higher pedestal that you deserve? Because the queen is somebody, like, as a man, we have to serve. Because a queen, you have to do your due diligence, but at the end of the day, we as a man, once you recognize I got a queen next to me, so you're going to be having the mindset, I have to protect, I have to provide, I have to care for her, I have to cherish her. Why are you still not understand? I don't know if you don't understand all these words of king and queen, because this word of queen can spark the beauty in you. So what is your thought about it?
My problem with the king queen situation, these are words that are becoming trendy, and they are thrown all over the place. Most people are just using the words without knowing exactly what it means. We have to pull up this definition of kings and queens. For me, what you said before about my husband, I agree. He should treat me the way you said he should treat me. But I don't need the title. I don't need that title as a queen, because I'm not a queen. I don't come from a royal descendants. I don't.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Let me tell you.
You born a queen.
I don't like to use titles like that.
You're born in Africa, you're royal.
For me, that works for me. I don't sit on the throne and ask people to go maybe colonize this country or go fish for me or go hunt for me, because this is what queen and queens do. We live in a country here where there is a queen. I'm going to leave it like that. So I'm not a queen. I am a black woman that deserves to be treated the way she needs to be treated, and vice versa for him. And it's to be on the same pedestal, just the same way he puts me high on the pedestal. I do the same thing for him because he treats me right and I treat him right. This is the definition of black love. You just don't go put someone on the pedestal because of the way they look, because of the way they elevate you in a society, because of the way that they fill up your pockets. I mean, it's deeper than that, to be honest with you. And when we talk about this interracial relationship, I just wanted to point out something when it comes to our sisters from Cameroon. I like all my African sisters, but when it comes to Cameroonians, it's a little much, the love that they have for white men. I watched this movie last time on YouTube. It called Eyenga, and it was just ridiculous how the choice was given. Would you pick a white man who is poor in his own country, who is disabled, over a black man who is very successful and has a successful career? And guess what? They still pick the white man. And I'm like, what kind of sense does this make? That shows you right there that the brainwash is very deep. And to relate to my sister Mbiku, she's absolutely right. If you have the intent to put yourself in an interracial relationship, make sure you've done all the background work that comes with it. Make sure you've healed, because the healing is important. You need to be aware where you come from, your history, your ancestral history. You need to know what happened in slavery. You need to know what happened during colonization times before you go put yourself in this kind of situation. When it comes to celebs, celebrities are not here to be our role models. They're here to entertain us. Point blank, period. If you're looking for a role model in a celebrity, you have issue. Why can't you be your own role model? When it comes to my children, I expect to be a role model for them, and I expect my husband to be their role model. Nothing else. Because this celebrity, Nicki Minaj and all this, she's not here to be a role model for you. She's here to entertain you and make as much as money as she can for herself. She's fully aware that there are black girls that are following her, and she's not setting the right example either. She's not the only one. There are plenty of people like her, like Beyonce and so on. Why can't you support a woman like, I don't know, like from Mabo? Why can't you support an African woman from Africa that is showing you the right example?
Wow.
It's very wrong for the culture of today to look to celebrity as a role model.
Exactly.
No, you should look as parents should be the role model to your children, because they're looking to you. They're not looking out, and if you're doing your job, they don't need to look out there for something else.
Wow. So brothers and sisters, as you can see, we got a couple of minutes to go. We're gonna pass on to Queen Katalaya. But sorry to say, I gotta say, you are queen. You are. Whether you like me now. If you jump, Sister Med, Queen Med, Sister Med,
Yes.
if you jump into our platform, you got a crown, invisible crown. You might not see, you got invisible crown.
I'm okay. I don't need crown.
Yes, you are.
I'm okay. I don't need it.
No. Not that you don't need it. You already have it. You have it with you. I know you don't care, but you have it with you. It's there. Sister Katalea, go ahead, my sister. Explain to her why. Because okay, take us, help us to understand. You a strong queen. You a strong queen. You put in a position to having your lovely husband, non-African, your lovely husband, who's more into pushing, because I know through you he learned a lot of what it takes to be African, even though he might not fully experience himself, but I'm sure he learned a lot. What is the adversities that you facing in your journey? So when you together with them, I know even you explained to me off air, even just in the community, some of them they still look at you as what's going on. Explain to us real quick before we analyze the situation. Go ahead, Sister Katalea, Queen Katalea.
Yes, before I go ahead, I just want to say I believe the time has passed, and I have an appointment with the family in a minute. I'm just going to be briefly. before I cover.
We got hold on. We got about 5 minutes to go anyway. Don't worry about it. We got about 5 minutes to go. Go ahead.
Okay. I just want to answer my sister up there, Sister Renoval. I believe we are kings and queens. And why do I believe that? I believe we born with a crown already. It's your responsibility to go and get it. It's your responsibility to claim. The claim is already yours. You are queen, and my husband feel a king already, and I embrace the title because I born with it and I earn it. I make sure I do. But I respect your opinion. I respect your ways of thinking. So another answer. This is for Sister Chekudi, who mentioned some brothers and sisters. We believe the generation is being a generation of how we behave. And some of the brothers are being broken because of slavery, because in the times of slavery, they were forced to sleep with different women to kind of reproduce. Yes.
Reproduce, yeah.
So I would say that time has passed to that stage. Today, that's why we're fighting for more rights, and equality. So why can our brothers, even if they've been broken by their upbringing, if perhaps their father behaved that way, their grandfather, it's about time they educate themselves. It's about time. There is no need to put another queen, another woman in suffering because your father was a womanizer or your mother was a womanizer. They can graduate from that stage, sister. That's all I have to say.
Wow. Brothers and sisters, we got about 5 minutes.
Can I?
We got, you coming in. I'll give you the floor.
Okay.
Look.
I want you to say.
Just 1 second. Just 1 second. Just 1 second. You're gonna jump in real quick, brothers and sisters. At the end, we're gonna quickly read your comments, all your comments, real quick. But please, we definitely need this conversation one more time. I send the invitation to some of our British counterparts or sisters to be on the show as well, just so we can balance, and then people have a better view. Some of them, they send me long messages for me to read. I don't like to read. I like to talk. When I'm on here, when I'm here at Radio Diamond, I'm doing so many things at the same time. I'm doing with this click, with this mouse. I have to change the camera, as you can see, sisters beautifully changing the camera. I have to use this hand here to make sure I'm bringing the sound. Then I have to look at the technical side. So it's so many things at the same time. That's why I was looking for an assistant to be on my show, but she's going to be ready. That's what I just want to tell you. I like to read when I'm on my comfort zone, when with my family. I read, sit down. But right here is to make sure I bring in the sisters from all walk of life to educate and then have a better understanding of each other's journey. That's all. So
sorry.
Yeah.
I have an emergency. I really.
Yeah. You make a point real quick before I let you go. Then, okay. If that's the case, I'll ask you one question before I let you go. Then.
Okay.
Quick question. Sister Catalea has to go. A quick question, 2 minutes answer. Do you agree or disagree with interracial marriage, and why? Quickly.
Can you say again?
Do you agree or disagree with interracial marriage, and why?
I do agree. If depending on if it's your happiness, depending on it, you don't choose color. I do agree in all relationships, white, blue, purple, black and white. I'm blessed. I bless all race, all human race. That's all.
Wow. As you can see, peace and blessings, brothers and sisters. You can see, we then give the floor to Sister Bikuri. Please give your say. Do you agree or disagree, and why? But I knew you want to raise a point. I'll let you do that real quick.
Yes, I want to raise a quick point, actually. It's going to be a very, very quick point. And it was going back into basically what Sister Renevart said about when she talked about the Cameroonian sister. That is a real problem, because in terms of when I was in Belgium, I met Cameroonian, a whole range of Cameroonian sisters, and there was a whole range of them. So there was one man, and there was a Belgian man as well. And this man, basically what he was doing was like, every so often, every 3-4 years, he was going to Cameroon, marrying a young woman, bringing her here, and then he would abuse the woman, and then afterward the woman would run away, with the police would get involved, things like that. It got to the point where the police was initially the police was coming down, stop him, but then the police kind of felt like, actually, this guy is abusive, right? So why are these women still continuing to marry him? And this was the white man.
Hold on, Sister Renevert, I just hold on. Sister, I just want you to stay back a little bit from the camera. Just to stay back a little bit. Great. Go ahead,
okay.
Sis.
So then what was happening in that case was like, these women was actually suffering for this. So then I spoke with some of these women, and then what they explained was like, basically, growing up, you were told that the black man, like a white man, would give you everything that you need. It would treat you right. It would be there for you, and so on and so forth. So there was an issue of the education received, misperceptions, but also some of the parents as well wanting to have a white person in the family, or wanting to have mixed race children. So I do believe, and especially many of them seeing a lot of their friends being taken by these, a lot of the time it's older white males, or even older white women coming to take young people, and I guess taking them, giving them money. Why? Because you have the currency. So what you have is like in the north, you have the currency of all countries in the north, in the fake north, stronger than the currencies in the south. So automatically, if you come up, whether you're poor, as soon as you go to Africa, if you're a poor white man in the UK, you go to Africa, you become a rich man. And therefore, you have access to all these women who then go for it. So then a lot of time, it's the young generation, because our youngsters are not educated. So we need to educate them, and we need to protect them. And the next thing is something that really almost broke my heart, was like, I was talking on the phone with one of my brothers, my brothers that I love a lot, and he's married to a white woman, right? Respect their relationship, respect them. So then when I was talking to him, there was a young girl, a young black girl, she was 13. She heard the conversation, she heard him speaking. As we were talking, the kids came in, and then he told the kids to go away, not to disturb us. And then she asked me, is he married to a white woman? And I said, yes. And I asked her, how do you know? And she was like, the way he spoke with his children, showed that he was married with a white person. And I looked at her, and I seen the relationship with her parents. I cried, because I could see how the same person, from what she was saying, she didn't say it, but that she was 13, and she can come to the conclusion that if the same person had black children in front of him, he would have treated them differently. But because the children were mixed, to his eyes, he saw them as white people. And he treated them like he would have treated white people. And this is sad. And for us, for me as a woman, I could feel myself suffering. I could feel my ovaries suffering. So I'm telling you, it's a big issue. And it's a big issue to see our brothers mistreat some of our sisters, or some of our sisters mistreat our brothers. But once they are with another person from another place, being different, that shows that ourselves, we need to work a lot on our self-healing, our self-love, before we go anywhere else. We need to heal that misunderstanding, because I give that example again, as in like the very first brother that you played at the beginning, his dad was worried about his life. Not even worried about the relationship or the woman. It was like, you could get killed for this person. So then this is what we have. And to answer the question that you asked, do I agree or not? I would say, when it comes to human being, anything, it's not okay. Like interbreeding with animals. We're not animals, Look at Willie Lynch. They talked about interbreeding. So interrelation goes from what Willie Lynch inserted in the human race. So coming from that lineage, I am not okay with that. But again, one of the things that I want to say is, within the human beings, those who know, those who are into consciousness will know, we have consciousness or not. So any person that you have a child with, whether they're black or white, that doesn't have a consciousness, that doesn't know who he is himself, you're making a big mistake, essentially, because it's going to be harmful for you or for your family. So my message is, as you're choosing your partner, look at the history, look at around you, look at what you want for your children, because you may not be there to raise them. So look at the legacy you're leaving for your children and consider this. So when it comes to how do I react when I see interracial relationship, I'm like, I am not a descendant of Willie Lynch. I'm not a descendant of those who did slavery, colonization. Therefore, I didn't ascribe, racist laws, because interracial relationships are also a result of racist laws as well. I didn't write any of those laws, neither did my ancestors. Therefore, I don't have any hate for anyone, especially in those things. It doesn't matter. It's a personal choice, and I respect that, because naturally that's what I would do. However, I stress this. However, when it comes to my people, when it comes to young people, I give them the fact for them to make a decision, because the creator looks at me making a mistakes. Even though he told me to do better, I make a mistake and he's still there and he's still loving me. Therefore, I have no right to judge anybody. However, I have the right, just like the creator, to give the information, to present the fact, to let the person make the choice. But when it comes to it, if someone asks me, I will tell them the fact. And as you can hear from what I'm saying, I would advise them against it. Simply because of what comes behind it, simply because of what the person will go through, what the children will go through, the racism, the discrimination, and the assault, and then the breaking down of the human being, the breaking down of the community. And then there was one person who made a comment that I loved as well in the comment, when he talked about, read the book Destruction of Black Civilization by the Chancellor William. It spoke about how intermarrying destroyed Africa. So I'm fighting for Africa.
Wow. Brothers and sisters, you can see Queen Mad. Please, whether you like it or not, I'm going to call you Queen. That's it. Yeah. So, please, can you elaborate? Do you agree or disagree with interracial marriage, and why? Real quick. We got about 2 minutes.
I personally disagree with it. It's not for me. It doesn't work for the values and principles that I represent, or the image and the knowledge that I want to give to my children. However, it's a free world, and people do whatever they please to do. I cannot make someone do what they don't want to do or what they want to do, because this is not my place. I can only work on myself and try to change myself, because I've gained consciousness of my history. I've gained consciousness of how to create wealth for Black people. The way you hit at racism is not by fighting, it's by spending your money with Black businesses. The way you educate yourself is not by being angry, it's by making sure that you get the right information in the right way. So people out, and racism take different forms. Just because you're in an interracial relationship doesn't mean the other half is not racist. There are so many things undercover nowadays that you won't be aware till it hits you in the face. So as a Black woman, I value myself. Most people would be like, yeah, she's talking like this because she hates herself, or because she doesn't, she never been looked at by a white man. I don't need white men to look at me. I've never been attracted by white men. They've never been attracted by me. By the way that I look, I'm not a prototype, and I'm glad. But
hell no, don't say this. Come on. You're melanated. You're beautiful. What are you talking about? You're the prototype.
No, let's be real and honest. I'm not a prototype for white men, and I don't want to be honest, because I'm very confident and secure with myself.
Oh, okay, I got you in that regard.
So I am good with that. But most people, that's what they would think. I'm dark skinned, I look the way I look, so I'm just speaking from a place of hate. I'm not. I'm speaking from a place of confidence, of knowledge, and of knowing where I come from. I cannot state that more enough, and from where I am going. Because the reflection of myself will influence the reflection of other generation. You have to do your bit. You cannot sit down and expect someone else, another race, to do the work for you. It doesn't work. You have to do it yourself. The way I look is going to influence my daughter. The way I carry myself is going to determine the type of people she's going to marry tomorrow or mingle with tomorrow, or the type of person she's going to be tomorrow. Just the simple way I carry my hair. If I hate my hair, she's going to end up hating her own hair. You have these negative connotations, like I said before, about king, queens, and nappy. And my hair is not nappy. My hair is curly. My hair is not coarse. My hair is curly. My hair is not difficult to manage. It's just the way it is. And you have to teach these things to your children so that they love themselves, so they're confident in themselves, so they don't feel like they have to go out there and bend to the system and bend to the white men and not question and not be critical. You have to be critical. Just because someone says something doesn't mean it's true. You have to be out there, do your own research, and find out what's right for you.
Wow.
So, and on top of that, let me just add one last point.
Yeah, well, quick.
You
Because
have to preserve your race. There's nothing wrong with that. It is not racist what I'm saying. You have to preserve your own race. Jewish people do it all the time. Asian people do it all the time. When it comes to black people, all of a sudden, they're racist. We're not racist. If you value your race, you value yourself. You value your blood. You put yourself on the highest pedestal. Then you don't go out there and just mix with anybody just because of papers, just because of economic reasons. No, exactly. It has to be for the right reasons. You understand what I'm saying? And when you look at slavery, colonization, you can't just put yourself in this kind of situation because you become a bad wench. And all these people that fought for us for 400, 500 years, all these people that died for our rights, all the Malcolm X, all the Martin Luther King, all the Marcus Garvey, all the Maya Angelou, they would have fought for us for nothing. So you have to think, you have to be conscious about all these things in the decision that you make. Because the decision of today, this is what African fails to notice. You just think of yourself today. No, you have to think of tomorrow. You have to think of the generation of tomorrow. The children that you're leaving tomorrow, what they're going to become.
Wow. So, brothers and sisters, as you can see, we're definitely going to need a second round of this show. They got a lot to say. But like I say to you, sister, it is about love, but more than love. It ain't just about love. So that's why we came to the conclusion, and it is fact, love is not blind, brother. Don't be out here say, oh, I mean my husband because I love him. No, it has to be something more than just a love. You have to educate yourself. It's nothing wrong for you to marry the whites, the Chinese, but you have to educate yourself about the situation, about your history. Just so when you get into the relationship, you fully understand the consequences of it. That's why we're doing this show to educate, especially even our young people, because our young people at times they get into the interracial relationship. Once they're in it, they start facing the consequences, and that's why it is important for us to understand. So we have to embrace each other. We have to love each other, but it's more than just the love. Even when you stay with the black on black love, you know we face the situation as well. Oh, I'm Congolese. Oh, I can't marry the Angolan people. Oh, the Angolan people. Oh, Nigerian people. Oh, no. Oh, I can't marry the Nigerian people. Oh, Jamaica. Oh, no. Them too revolutionary. No. I have to stay with you. We also face this situation. Let's face the reality. Oh, no, you married the American. Oh, no, the Americans. Oh, no, they too conscious. Oh, they going to start question white people. Oh, no, I don't want this. We know the situation. Come on, sister. Don't lie to us. So that's why we have to understand the situation, because once you get into the relationship, if you're a black sister, you get into the relationship, you know already. Because we got to face the fact. As African people, we like to dance. We like to party. We like to make noise. And there are times your husband, they might not go accept it. You have to face the reality. You know, when you do a party, let's face the reality. Us as a black people, when we do a party, if you have your white husband, you have to prepare him in advance. Look, when we do a party, we put it down. Just so, because when you invite the Kufu gonna bring the Zulu gonna bring this. When you understand, you even gonna start asking yourself, like, come on, man, my white husband don't like this. Look, that's why when they invite me to come to the party sometimes, right? We go over there, and then some of us used to say, oh, yeah, Alfa, We just invite you to bring one. Now you bring in the whole family. Of course, that's what we are. So that's what we are. So that's why I'm just. Second, go ahead. What did you say, something?
I'm gonna say generosity as well, because you talked about the party. I would say generosity, sharing.
Exactly.
We eat together, you know, we share a lot, you know, we sit together, we eat a lot. So often, even the marriage itself, right? When you married, the marriage is a white wedding. You know, everybody's doing a white wedding. You don't see, yeah, they call it African wedding, but the African wedding is not legal. Everybody who be doing African wedding, it's not a legal marriage. You have to do the white, you have to do the first of all, going to the marriage to do the legal wedding. And then you have to do the church wedding if you want to, if the Christian one, I didn't do that. But this is the thing. So these are the legal weddings, but the African wedding, it's not a legal wedding. No. So think about it. Already when you're marrying into the white culture, you know, married into the black culture. And your generosity, sharing, giving food, giving your clothes, doing this, you can't do that.
Absolutely.
Can't
so
do that.
That's what
I definitely agree.
That's what I'm simply trying to say. Brothers, if you're married to a white woman, you have to prepare her in advance what she's going to face it. And then sister, if you married a white man, you have to also prepare in advance, because I've seen this situation happen in front of my own eyes. So that's why I always tell our brothers and sisters, just be prepared, because I've seen situations like this. I even recently, I think it was last year, one of my friends took the girlfriend to the church, to the African church. You know, the African church is like, when you go over there, people dancing, boom, 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 boom. She was in shock. She was like, "Oh, I never experienced something like this." I said, "Sister, why?" No, because when you go to the white church is like, "Oh, Jesus Lord," but black church, even in the church itself, is about the drum. You see, boom, 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 people making noise. If you're not prepared in advance, she might not go understand the situation, brothers. Imagine you married a white woman here, took her into Congo. You see all the traffic over there, people just violating the traffic. They don't care. Imagine you take her to Angola, where people like to do kuduro, dancing kizomba. If we're not prepared in advance, she might just go say, "Alpha, put me in the plane. I want to go back home." That's what she's going to say. Telling you. Anyway, peace and blessings. It's such an amazing to have these sisters here, man. Y'all enlighten us with knowledge. And to Sister Katale as well, the same thing as well. She enlightens us with knowledge, just so we understand the situations. There's so many messages up here. Sisters saying, brothers comment. Leave your comment. We're going to read off air and then analyze the situation. But thank you one more time for you to having us, giving this bless. Even to all the brothers in the comment section. We're having brothers, shout out to Sister Jacqueline. Shout out to our great Baba Habu Hatata. Shout out to King Kila Wamazulu, one of our great fearless brother. Shout out to Brother Flavio. Shout out to Brother Nasha. Next week, we're going to be doing in Portuguese as well. In Portuguese. But next, it's going to be on Saturday. But on Sunday, we're going to bring the kings now, to analyze why are we making a mistake? Why so many of our sisters going out to other people's group? Why so many of our brothers going out to other people's group? That's why we're going to ask the brothers as well. Peace and blessings. And then Sister Bikuri, I'll leave you with this quick question to you, all of you. Mm-hmm. You and her, real quick. I want you we do this challenge all the time when people come to our show. It's a part of education, part of us learning each other. I'll throw out both of you. I'll start with Sister Bikuri. I'll throw you a couple of names. I need a quick answer. 1 or 2 words, maximum 5. All right?
Okay.
Are you ready?
Ready.
Okay.
Yes.
So let me make sure ready. I got my list here. Sure ready. Yes, we're ready. Okay. I'll throw you quick words and then a quick answers. Powerful, lovely. I'll throw different names. So I'll start off with. Let me make sure. Bring my camera here. Just 1 second. Okay. Pay attention, my brothers. I'll start off with Queen Pavita.
Kim Pavita, yes, Kim Pavita was a strong queen. Again, as we're talking, we call it Ntino. It's true that in Congolese culture, we didn't have the institution of king or queens. It was Ntino. She was the head of a big family, but the head of the Congo Empire as well. So she was a fighting princess at the time. So then she fought against the colonization in Congo, and she stood up for the black race. And it's even said that she died.
Hold on. Now you went to 10 words. I've just said 2 words. So 5 words.
Okay, so
maximum.
In one word, I have to say she incarnates a strong black woman who fought and stood strong and fought against slavery. So she said no against colonization, against slavery before it began. So she foresaw what was going to happen. So a strong, powerful woman.
Okay. All I need you, when I answer the question, all I need you to say strong, powerful, whatever name that you come into your mind. Whatever strong word that come into your mind, maximum 3 words that come into your mind. Powerful, beautiful, powerful, warrior, anything that comes to your mind. Because it's going to be a punchline, okay? Okay. Queen Zinga.
Woo, beautiful, my ancestor. Whoop,
whoop. Patrice Lumumba.
Patrice Lumumba standing up, saying no, spitting back at the insults. Response. Finding your voice.
Maya Angelou.
Writing pen on paper, making us know that we can do anything we set our mind to.
Michelle Obama.
It's a difficult one for me. Pass.
Sell out.
Hillary Clinton.
Pardon?
Hillary Clinton.
Pass.
Queen Mother Winnie Mandela.
Woo! I can say enough for me. We're here because of her. She stood up against apartheid. One of the women who stood up against apartheid. Powerhouse. Powerhouse. Power.
Queen Naya.
She gave us great Shaka Zulu birthing. So she represents birthing and teaching real values to our kings.
Queen Elizabeth.
Pass.
Okay, don't worry, we got it.
Pass.
Julius Nyerere.
Oh, to be honest, I don't know him, so I'm ashamed to say pass. Can't remember.
Kofi Annan.
Another, I guess, example of things that go wrong when you think you're doing good things.
Melinda Gates.
Sterilizing women in Africa, killing the black genes and seeds. Be careful, run the other way if you can. Avoid if possible.
Wow. Now I'm moving back to Queen Met. Marcus Garvey.
Oh, powerful, conscious, determined.
Stay in the great island of Jamaica, Bob Marley.
Inspirational, gone too early.
Oprah Winfrey.
Sell out.
Damn, she's quick. Great.
Beyonce.
Sell out.
Ooh. Rihanna.
Sell out.
Jay-Z.
Ooh, biggest sellout.
Donald J. Trump.
Sorry, who?
Donald J. Trump. Donald Trump.
Non-existent.
I would have to say, see who?
Hold on. We still got it. Kwame Nkrumah.
Oh yeah. Ahead of his time. Intelligent. Fearless.
Brother Gaddafi.
Also, he was he had a vision. Gone too soon.
Ooh, we're getting there. You see, we got names up here. So, Frederick Douglass.
Sorry, I don't know who that is.
Okay. Don't worry
Ahead
about
of his time, said no, state strength, and spoke against racism and slavery in America.
All right. Okay, got it. Then Robert Mugabe.
I'll say one sentence: got lost in the sauce.
Mobutu Sese Seko. Right there.
Another sellout.
Ooh. Papa Wemba.
Got lost with materialistic things. So started right but end wrong.
Ooh. Joseph, bring my camera here. Joseph Kabila.
Did nothing for Congolese people. Thief.
Another misunderstood, along with Mobutu, another misunderstood.
Yeah. Another thief of African natural resources.
Me, I'm going into the misunderstood because we don't know the whole story.
Okay.
The media
it was doing white people's bidding, just like all the presidents out there. So same thing, I put them all in the same basket. They don't stand out for me.
Man, you see something. Oh my God. That's so amazing. That's so amazing. So we got a lot of names here. Boris Johnson, both of you. Boris Johnson, real quick.
Very complex.
I think for me it's misunderstood, misguided as well, and came too early.
I think he started right when he was the mayor of London. Good intentions, good policies. Now when it comes to implementation, we're still waiting.
Theresa May.
Oh no thanks.
Yeah, I think for me also no.
Oh no.
All right.
Trouble.
Go to the country real quick. Magufuli, our president from Tanzania. Magufuli.
I don't know him.
I'll pass.
You pass.
Mm-hmm.
Rajalina from Madagascar.
I'll pass.
Yeah.
Sister Bikudi, Rajalina from Madagascar.
Pass.
You pass.
Yeah, I'm not too much with the politics right now. Many of them have sellout. I would say just in general, many of our presidents are sellouts, but many are misunderstood. And often when they open the eyes, that's when we take them down, unfortunately. So everybody deserves to have the redemption, but once they start seeking redemption, like Mobutu, when they actually realize what's happening and they want to tell the truth, they don't get that chance. You know, Gaddafi along, and many of them got killed just because they were misguided. And I don't
think misguided. They knew exactly what they were doing, stealing from the country like they do all the time. And once they got caught out, all of a sudden, oh, I want to repent. Now I want to do the right thing. But you've been stealing for years. How long is it going to take? And they've been stealing. The fact that they've been stealing put us in this position today. If they were not stealing, we won't be here. We'll still be in our home countries.
But that's the thing. But then they, especially like when you take Mobutu, he took the country like literally after colonization. The country was in tatters. It was in no shape whatsoever. People were getting lashed. People were getting beaten. You had 10 beatings every single day. The fact that the beating ended, for me, that was enough. But also, where do we get our facts from? where do we get our facts from? And also, I guess the only thing I could say about them is they didn't really teach us what they wanted to. And many of them tried with Africanism, you know, and like Mobutu, he sponsored a lot of the RGB community, the red, black, and green, but we didn't get to hear about it in Congo. So we don't have the full picture of our leaders. We don't know who they are. We see what we see in the medias. And when they have a gun held to their hand, behind their head, we don't see it. And often we blame them, but we don't blame the people holding the gun to the head.
I blame them both, because for someone to have, you know, we blame white people all the time for colonization, but we open that door for them to colonize us. So you have to take some part of accountability. If they put Mobutu there, they put him there. He didn't put himself there. They put him there for a purpose, and he serves that purpose. And once he's starting to stray from it, then okay, it's time to get rid of him. And this is the story of African president. The puppets of the Western world.
Absolutely,
Wait,
absolutely.
One thing that I would point out to everyone before we finish very quickly, which is it's true that they choose puppets, but have you not noticed how they don't choose whoever they want? They have to choose selected few. They can't just put anyone in that position. So we still have some power. And I do believe that we don't have, I think sincerely, we don't have a right to judge some people, whereas what they did, we're still doing it. But when it's us doing it, we don't get blamed for it. When it's our parents doing it in that era, we don't get blamed for it, but we only do blame we only blame the president. So if we're going to blame, we should blame ourselves as well, because when it comes to that kind of discrimination or, you know, hate against being black, we all went through it. You know, many women bleach their skin, you know, we use weaves. We wanted to have hair like white women. Therefore, we have to look at all this and bring everything out.
Some women, when we use weaves or extension or wigs, not because we hate our hair. It's actually to protect our hair. And the second thing is to have some kind of variety. And the third thing is because sometimes it depends on your lifestyle. It could be easy for you to do that instead of carrying your hair all day long, all year long. And you have to remember, we are not in Africa. The weather here doesn't work for our hair, just like it doesn't work for our skin. So you have to put that into context.
So then the women in Europe putting weaves are fine. The one in Africa putting weaves are wrong. And I don't believe that.
Yes. Hold on. I definitely look. I definitely gonna have this conversation again with you. We already hold on.
Absolutely.
Hold on. Remember I had with you this conversation and the people start attacking me. Remember, right? Queen Bikudi. Okay. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hold on. I will bring. Now I got this hold of the sister. She's got a shop in Manchester that sells weave. She agreed to come to the show. So I'll bring both of you to respectfully engage with the sister. So you can, have to be respectful, because otherwise she's just not going to come, because she understood if I just say come, but she said she will come to the show. And we're going to talk about, because we already had this conversation before, talking about the weave. As you can see here in your screen, we got this sister here that's checking one of our sisters, this sister that you can see in the screen right now. And that's why we said we're going to be bringing this conversation again about the weave. Why so many of our sisters still embracing weaves and wigs, still going out for the Chinese hair, Indian hair, Brazilian hair. Why they're not embracing their own hair? That's what we're going to be bringing up in this coming week. But next week, we're going to be having the Kings one more time to tell us why they're choosing other sisters. Why? So, peace and blessings. It was amazing. We have to extend this show because sister, obviously, this is a show that the sister have to express themselves, because if I just keep cutting all the time, they're never going to get to the point. But it was beautifully to having the sister Bikudi, sister Venevel, Queen Venevel, even though she don't like her, but she's a queen. And then Queen Katale as well. Peace and blessings, and I'll see you next week. And remember one more time, I can breathe. Just to make sure I'm saying this is I. The black fierce represent I. So I can breathe for all my ancestors. I'll do a quick video as soon as we finish up this show. But one more time, it was amazing. Keep the conversation alive. Shout out to absolutely all of our brothers and sisters that left your comment here. Oh, my beautiful queen left a comment in Portuguese as well. But anyway, it's okay. So I love you, Queen Zinga. I really do. And yes, I love you too. I really love you. So keep the conversation alive. Alfa Kuabo here at Radio Diamond, bringing to you the best of ourselves, bringing to you love, unity, and then the numbers right there for the next show for you to leave your comment. There's so many comments here. Dr. Wuma. Oh yeah, we're gonna be having Dr. Wuma soon as well. Anyway, he's ready. We're gonna be talking about variety issues, economy, politics, interracial couple, because we know what he feels about it. We're gonna talk about all these situations that affect our people worldwide. Alfa Kuabo, see you next week at same time, Radio Diamond. In this 4 weeks, it's going to be every Sunday. Then we're going to be move on because of our schedule. Peace and blessings, and we out. And one more time, shout out to Sister Bikudi, shout out to Sister Venevel. We love you. Respectfully, we really, really love you. And then to Queen Catalea, we love you too, my sister.
Queen, bye. Bye.